Hello, Senior High Icons. I am Miss Mary Emmanuel Estrella and I am here to discuss some topics in English for the third week of this online review to help you refresh your minds for your upcoming college entrance exams. We will be focusing on reading comprehension, so basically, we will be discovering some reading skills to make reading meaningful for you when you encounter passages and articles on your entrance exam. With that, let us start. There are basic reading skills that we should acquire in order for us to read critically and meaningfully. But before that, let us first define the word reading. Reading is a language skill which can be developed through constant practice, and it can be more meaningful if it will be an interactive process between the writer and the reader. The question is, how do we interact with what we are reading? We interact with what we read by simply asking questions, analyzing the assertions, adding your own understanding, and relating your experience to the message of the text. And since reading is a process, there are 3 stages that we go through when we read. The first stage is called the pre-reading stage, which aims to induce the reading motivation to read and to activate their schema or background knowledge. Activities done during this stage include previewing, free writing, surveying, questioning, making assumptions, and identifying the purpose and the SQ3R. SQ3R stands for Survey, Question, Read, Recite, Review, which is a comprehension strategy that helps students to think about the text they are reading while they are reading it. It is often categorized as a study strategy. SQ3R helps students get the idea the first time they read a text by teaching students how to read and think like an effective reader. The next stage is called while reading stage, wherein you reread the text until you fully understand its meaning. You have to read it twice or thrice if necessary to make sure that you really understand the message of the text. Specific skills in this stage include getting the meaning of words through context clues, predicting, inferencing, monitoring comprehension, annotating text, reflecting, and critical reading. Lastly, the post-reading stage, where in this stage, you have to check your understanding of the text. How are you going to do that? You can check your comprehension of what you have read by reflecting, summarizing, paraphrasing, drawing conclusions, making graphic organizers, and journal writing about the text that you have just read. Now, let us talk about the 5 basic reading skills that we must have as readers to fully understand what we read. The first one is rapid reading. Rapid reading aims to locate specific information or main ideas in a very short span of time. It includes skimming and scanning. Both are quick reading strategies, but the difference is that skimming aims to get the main idea and to get an overview of the material, while scanning aims to get specific information from a given text. The next one is previewing. It is a skill wherein a reader looks over a material and focuses on the information he finds relevant. It allows readers to set the purpose and connects the content of the material to their schema or to their background knowledge. Another basic reading skill is literal reading. Literal reading involves the understanding of ideas and facts that are directly stated in the printed material. From the term literal, the meaning of the statements are obviously shown, so you don't have to read between the lines. We usually use this skill in the last stage of the reading process, which is the post-reading stage, wherein we check if we really understand the text by summarizing and paraphrasing. What is the difference of the two reading skills, summarizing and paraphrasing? The first one, summarizing, it involves compressing a lengthy text into a shorter passage, which usually the 15% to 30% of the source material by choosing only the important details of the text. While paraphrasing involves restating ideas from the original text using your own words. The length of a paraphrased text is almost similar to the length of the original text because it focuses on the details and not on the main idea. Next is inferential reading. This skill includes making generalizations, inferences, and conclusions. It refers to the process of getting facts and ideas not directly stated in the text, so we have to read between the lines. The last one is critical reading. This skill is usually used in the while reading stage. This skill includes distinguishing facts from opinions and detecting logical errors or fallacies. These are the basic reading skills that we must have to make reading more meaningful and to make it easier for us, readers, to fully understand what we are reading. Now let us try to answer all the items from your pre-test in English that you have taken last Monday, which is a reading comprehension type of test. I'm going to read the passages paragraph by paragraph before we answer all the items for each given passages. You may also read along with me if that will help you better understand the text. Let us read the first paragraph of the first passage. In the 16th century, an age of great marine and terrestrial exploration, Ferdinand Magellan led the first expedition to sail around the world. As a young Portuguese noble, he served the King of Portugal, but he became involved in the quagmire of political intrigue at court and lost the king's favor. After he was dismissed from service by the King of Portugal, he offered to serve the future Emperor Charles V of Spain. A papal decree of 1493 had assigned all land in the New World west of 50 degrees west longitude to Spain and all the land east of that line to Portugal. Magellan offered to prove that the East Indies fell under Spanish authority. On September 20, 1519, Magellan set sail from Spain with 5 ships. More than a year later, one of these ships was exploring the topography of South America in search of a water route across the continent. These ships sank, but the remaining 4 ships searched along the southern peninsula of South America. Finally, they found the passage they sought near 50 degrees south latitude. Magellan named this passage the Strait of All Saints, but today it is known as the Strait of Magellan. One ship deserted while in this passage and returned to Spain, so fewer sailors were privileged to gaze at that first panorama of the Pacific Ocean. Those who remained crossed the meridian, now known as the International Date Line, in the early spring of 1521 after 98 days on the Pacific Ocean. During those long days at sea, many of Magellan's men died of starvation and disease. Later, Magellan became involved in an insular conflict in the Philippines and was killed in a tribal battle. Only 1 ship and 17 sailors under the command of Basque navigator Elcano survived to complete the westward journey to Spain and thus prove once and for all that the world is round with no precipice at the edge. In order for us to answer the given questions, you have to find the specific statement or sentence in the given from the passage. and then identify the missing term. When you find the missing term, look at the choices and find its meaning from there, or at least find a synonymous word from the choices, and from there you will be able to answer each item. The 16th century was an age of great blank exploration. From the given choices, find the missing term from the passage. You can find the statement in the given from the first paragraph. And then, as you can see, the missing term from there is the term terrestrial. And terrestrial means land. No choice here offers a synonym for marine, like for example nautical, naval, water, seagoing, and no other choices match either marine or terrestrial. Therefore, the answer is letter B, land.